welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you how we can set up a project for end-to-end UI test automation with Selenium and its other libraries. In this video I will show you how you can install the plugin on IntelliJ and set up a brand new test automation project for a UI testing. So without any further ado, let's start. So the first thing you need to do is to install this Selenium UI testing plugin. This is from JetBrains. Install this plugin if you don't already have, and then restart the IDE to make sure that it just works. So the next thing we need to do is to create a new project. So demo UI test. I will be using Gradle as a build system. You can choose Maven or Gradle, keep the JUnit and keep a JDK 11. Next, so Selenium we will keep as it is. So for Allure framework is a testing and also documentation type framework. We can skip for this video. Selenide, we will definitely need this library. So just very briefly, it's a framework for test automation. It offers a concise, fluent APIs, and also this offers AJAX calls as well. The configuration is very simple. We can get the WebDriver manager out of the box, so that means we don't need to install or manage any of these web drivers. So I'll show you how it will work. So select this, then create. For this sample web application that I would like to automate the login process for this application. So what do I need is to get the URL from here, go back to IntelliJ. So I'm going to take this out from here to here. And in the browser configuration, we go here, configuration, we're going to use configuration dot browser equals, seems very slow, Firefox. If you go in, we have an option to choose from Chrome, Firefox, or a number of other browsers as well. We can choose versioning and number of other features we can basically use to test any scenarios. Let's go back. So now this is all ready to start. So the first thing we need to do is to find a scenario that we would like to automate. So I have found this website that I will be using for this example. So grab a URL. You can use any web page or your application. So you need to go to tools and then use this option, open Selenium page object. Click here. So this will load the whole browser. So from this page we need three things. We need email address, passwords, and login page. That's what the user is doing to perform the login operation. So we get this selector, we click here, we get this ID, right click, add an ID. Same thing with the password. Click, let's do it again, click here, let's close these guys. This is the password, right? So right click here, we can select the ID. By the way, we can also choose by name or XPath. Let's keep it simple with ID. And the third one we need for button. Click, we get the button, right click, ID. You notice on the left side it's generating this code for us. Currently we're using a Java and then framework as a Selenium, and we can use this if we are continue using Selenium, but let's use Selenide, which is a lot more simpler. And I'm gonna copy this code. So go to our project source. So normally it's better to put all these pages or models into a separate directory. So I'm going to create package and then create here a new Java class as a login page. Right? I'm going to put all the code here. So to keep it simple, let's change the names. Submit. The other point we need to do is currently is using a CSS selector. We don't want to do that, so we'll do the same for all the others so that we can select the ID for each of our element. This and so this is all ready. So now if we go back to our main test class, here we wanted to paste the URL where we want this to go. So this URL. So it will go here. What we want to do is to send the email address and password to the form. So we need to create an object for login page. All right. Oh, we don't need this. So here login page dot email dot send keys. That's what we want some data to that text field. Hello. That's some email address. Same goes for password. And finally, we want to click the button. Click. So this basically performs the action on that page. So let's run this. On this page. So we want to make sure that for the wrong username password, it should show us this message. So we want to check that. So get the inspect. So we can get this class and then the spam. So what we need to do is to write some assertion. Assert equals, get that code. So after making the change, we are running again in a debug mode. You give a tip here, right click, and then you can evaluate expression. If you cannot find the certain elements, this is a great way to find the elements. So the element, so you can check if the element exists or not, or even get the text. For example, dot get text, right? So we can see what value we are getting from there. So we can use this value to compare against. So run through. So all the tests are passed. So as you can see with this Selenium tool in IntelliJ, how easy it is to write functional test for your web pages. This extension makes it a lot easier to get the code and IDE, and then we can create separate classes for each of the page, and then we can write test cases against those pages, depend how we want to structure it. For a larger project, we need to think a different way to how to structure the project and then test cases, but a simple project like this is easy to do whichever way you want it to do. Hope this helps, and do let me know if you have any question